Hello friends, and thank you for joining me for the Kundalini Kriya. I was going to do a video, but I felt like I really liked the process and thought of doing this as a voice recording. And then if you have any questions as to different things that we'll be doing, I will make a little blog post on my website and post some more information there. My Patreon people, this will be posted on Patreon for you as well, the blog post, so you'll have access to that with some images and some more information as to what the different things that we're doing are about, what their benefits are, and all that good stuff. I'm considering taking a break during the month of January from social media. And so I'm just thinking of like different ways I can still get information out there without utilizing the different platforms. So I'll still be doing Patreon and updating that. I'll still be on Discord. And then I'm thinking for any additional information that maybe I might post through a story or something like that, I might do some blog posts that are on my website and send out a little memo about that, since I don't do newsletters or email lists because I notice people don't read them and neither do I. So to start, this is a Kundalini Kriya that we'll be doing for the month of January. So if you can, do it every day, as often as you can. If you can even do this twice a day, that is really, really good. But this is one that will open your third eye, so you'll find that you'll feel more experienced with the seen and the unseen, maybe even more comfortable with being able to kind of navigate in between worlds. Maybe you'll receive more intuitive information. Connecting intuitively might come easier for you. Maybe you will see a decrease in stress, anxiety, and other things, more clarity as to who you are, what path you're on. Maybe you might feel a complete switch up where, you might have identified one way, either personally or with what you do, or, just different things that you believe, and you may feel completely differently. Kundalini energy is very strong, and it definitely has a way of kind of getting you in tune with your true self. And sometimes we have these different assumptions and expectations and things that we place on ourselves, even labels that we place on ourselves, and we identify so closely with them. But Kundalini has a way of allowing us to release that attachment to those labels, to those things that we identify with within our humanly sort of existence, and allowing us to become more detached and more just connected with the being of being in existence. So the chant that we'll start with, or a little, I guess I could call it like a mantra, is basically, it's the little translation, I'll give it to you here, is: lead me from Asat to Sat, lead me from darkness to light, lead me from death to immortality, Om, peace, peace, peace. And so that's what we'll start with. And like I said, I will probably, since I probably will take a break from social media during January, I just feel like I want to see how that goes. And so I'll probably I will be making a blog post kind of elaborating on the different mantras we're using, the different, because there is some not movement, but very subtle stuff like nostril breathing, alternate nostril breathing, and all that good stuff. I'll be getting into more detail through a blog post, and that will be uploaded to Patreon too. So patrons, you won't have to look anywhere for that. But yeah, since I don't do a newsletter, that'll be my form of kind of getting information out there through the blog on my website, which I'll post a link on Discord too. But I'll be present on Discord, Patreon, and on my website. So yes. So let us go ahead and get into it. So feel free to take a moment to take a few deep breaths. Sorry for the long opening, but I just wanted to make sure that I kind of elaborated on some of the things that we will be doing through this Kriya, what it is, what I'll be providing you guys. But I'll make one of those little markers, because I'll be uploading this through YouTube. So the next time you can just click on the timestamp, and that'll take you right to the meditation Kriya itself. So let us dive in. Feel free to take some deep breaths. Asato ma sagamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sit comfortably, keeping your spine nice and straight. Feel free to close your eyes, and there will be a kind of translation and also the words for that chant. I will post that in the blog post, so don't worry if you're like, what was she saying? If this is your first time listening, feel free to just follow along with that. And so now we will be practicing 2 pranayama techniques. The first, we want to use Vishnu Mudra. So taking the right hand, putting it into the mudra, you'll put your index and middle finger down. The thumb, pinky, and ring finger will be left out. And we use this kind of hand motion to close our nostrils. So the thumb will be on the right nostril, and the ring finger and pinky kind of fall on the left nostril. And so through this, we'll be doing some alternate nostril breathing. And again, if you're confused, I'll have a picture and some more explanation and maybe some links as to why this is beneficial, etc., how to do it in the blog post. But this is a modified Nadi Shodhana, where we're just switching nostrils. And nothing fancy, no fancy counts or anything like that. So you can just follow along with me. So closing the right nostril and inhaling through the left. And exhaling through the right and closing the left nostril. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. And relax. Feel free to take a couple breaths through both of your nostrils just to kind of feel what that feels like. So now we're going to practice another form of Nadi Shodhana, but it is more of a mental form of this sort of breathing. So we're going to be imagining the breath and kind of in this triangular sort of motion. So instead of using our hands or anything to kind of block the nostrils, we're simply just going to be thinking about sending the breath up through one nostril to the third eye, and then sending it down through the opposite nostril. And so as we think about this, we'll be bringing the air through the left nostril, sending it upward toward the third eye, and bringing the air then down through the right nostril, and kind of forming this cyclical, cycled sort of breathing. So as we do this too, we're going to be sending the air up through the left nostril to the third eye, down out through the right nostril. But on the next inhale, on the next breath, we'll be bringing the air up through the right nostril to that third eye point, which is just slightly above the eyebrows, kind of in the middle of the forehead, in between the eyebrows, and then out through the left nostril. So it's going to be kind of like this alternating breath where we first bring it up through the left nostril, out through the right. Then we'll bring it up through the right nostril, out through the left. And as you do this, it's also encouraged to kind of visualize this cycled breathing, kind of swirling and circling through your nostrils. So I always say, sorry, my Apple Watch, but I always say that it's kind of a good rule of thumb to just kind of visualize it in your mind, see how it's happening, see what's going on through your mental closing your eyes too, because I feel like that makes it a lot easier to kind of notice the different things taking place. And so that will be our next breath. So give me one moment here as I turn off the notifications. There we go, we're in silent mode now. So feel free to take a few deep breaths if you need to kind of prepare. But keep your hands in Gaya Mudra, which is kind of, I always say, when we think of maybe when we're kids and we're kind of mimicking somebody doing a meditation sort of seating stance, whatever. We're thinking of them with their legs crossed and the index and thumbs kind of joined at the tips. And your 3 fingers are kind of outward, and that is the Gaya Mudra. So you can find your hands there if you need something to do with your hands. That's a nice mudra to do, and it's really great for focus as well. And then we'll be just alternating this breath through our mind's eye as well as through our nostrils without using our hands. All right. So bringing the attention to your left nostril, to your breath, and inhaling through the left nostril, sending it up toward the third eye, imagining it kind of like smoke or incense smoke, and exhaling through the right nostril, inhaling through the right, bringing your focus and the air up toward the third eye, and exhaling through your left. And as you do this, you might even be able to feel where there's more air coming through one of the nostrils, depending on which one you're inhaling into, or even more air coming out of one of the nostrils when you're exhaling. You know, pay attention to that too, what your body is doing, how it's responding. If you'd like to take this maybe a step further, you can also take your internal gaze, your eyes are closed, but taking your gaze up toward the third eye, and that kind of brings some extra focus and energy to that point. Just allowing yourself to focus all of your awareness on the third eye, on the nostrils, on the breath. Try not to worry too much about what's happening, what's going on, what's going where. Just allowing yourself to have complete focus on that area. And allowing yourself to relax, returning to a kind of regular sort of breathing. So our last little bit of exercise for today is a focus on the third eye. So similar to what we were doing with the last breath, we will be practicing Vishnu Mudra. Still working on the pronunciation of that, but it is basically the same thing that I explained to you. So if you were to take your index finger and put it in between your eyebrows and slide it slightly upward, there would be your third eye, but it's basically taking that internal gaze, because the eyes would be closed, toward that point, and then thinking of slightly opening your eyes. And so if I were to look at you right now, or someone were to walk by and look at you, they would probably see the whites of your eyes. And so it's having complete and absolute focus on that point between your eyes, slightly above where the third eye is. So feel free to close the eyes, take your gaze up, and close your eyelids halfway. Gazing at that third eye. You could leave the eyes open if you want to. It might be a little bit difficult, or your eyes might twitch, which could be distracting. So opening halfway or as much as you can is good, but keeping it relaxed. And taking absolute awareness and focus to that point. If it's uncomfortable to have your eyes halfway open, you can keep them closed. Know that you do have options, but keeping your absolute focus and awareness at that point. And from here, we'll be chanting Om. And imagine this Om sound coming from the point between your eyebrows. It sounds weird, maybe, but thinking of it as like a mini speaker or something in between the eyebrows. But imagining it's coming from that third eye point. So you can follow along with me, just getting comfortable with where we're at right now. Getting comfortable with the breath. It'll be a relatively fast chant, but feel free to follow along. If you have to slow it down, pause, and kind of do your own, feel free to do that. I know everyone's pace is a little bit different, so try to make it open for everyone. And we'll start with the chant, taking a deep inhale. louder, a little bit louder or harder if you're able to. And allowing yourself to relax. Bringing your all and only awareness on to that third eye point, or overall awareness, I should say, to that third eye point. And keeping your awareness there and opening your eyes. So allow yourself to look around, but keeping that focus and awareness on that third eye point. Gazing around the room, but still keeping up with that awareness. So allow yourself to continue to look around the room, continuing to focus on how you're feeling in your body, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. Probably not much of anything. Probably feeling a lot more relieved, a lot more calm, collected, clear-minded. But yes, like I said, this is a amazing practice. Amazing practice for the third eye. It's amazing for calm, for focus. So allow yourself to be along for that journey and see what it opens up for you. And like I said, everyone will have a very different experience. And with that, our practice for today is completed. So feel free to keep track of the days that you do this meditation. Set a reminder on your phone, on your Apple Watch, on your iPad, on your tablet, your computer, smartwatch, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be Apple. And keep up with it. I think you will see the best results with the more consistency you put into a practice like this. And I always recommend to take notes daily as well. Have a little journal, have one on your phone. I know for me, it's the easiest to have things digitally these days, especially because I can have everything kind of meshed between the platforms, whether it's my phone or whatever, my tablet or my computer. So feel free to keep some documentation of what you're feeling, what you experience throughout the day, things that you might notice, recognize, things that might open up for you, all that good stuff. And what else? I think that is pretty much it. I will see you tomorrow. Whenever you decide to do this. Feel free though, after you kind of get the feel for everything, to just kind of do this practice on your own. Maybe make notes of the steps and take your own time for this. You could make it a shorter practice if you want, or a longer one if you need someone to follow along with. This recording is always here. But yeah, definitely check out the blog post too if you're interested in knowing more about the different chants and mudras and things that we're using, what this Kriya is good for. But I hope that this brings you a lot of peace, calm, abundance, third eye activation, awareness, all the good stuff to start out the new calendar year. So really excited to be doing this with you all. And also feel free, for my Patreon people, make sure you join the Discord. We'll be having conversations about the Kriyas that we're doing as we do them. So this one specifically, we'll be having conversations there. That's a place where you can check in, where you can be held accountable. You can touch base with everyone, ask questions. Is anyone else experiencing this, feeling this, having trouble with this? Just a safe space for us all to share, to connect, to communicate, and all of that good stuff. So feel free to join us over there. But for my Discord friends, I think I'll be creating a thread so you all can kind of comment and all that good stuff there and share your experiences. But yes, definitely feel free to connect, hold each other accountable, ask questions, all that good stuff. And I hope that this Kriya serves you well. I'm excited for next month. I think I'll be doing one next month too, if time allows. So I'll be announcing what that is next month. But have a good January.